Are you tired of the same old sports media? Are you tired of hot takes, arguments, and questions that are just completely off base?
Luckily, we have something for you. Touchdowns and tangents of the people, for the people, by people who care about the culture and all its concise commentary.
What's up, good people? Live from Hawthorne, California, it's the dynamic duo, Touchdowns and Tangents, your Thursday night spot for NFL takes, topical tangents, and concise commentary for the culture. I am Pete D. Camarillo.
Kenneth Berry, and it feels so good to be back.
Took a week off last week. Just felt like it was kind of awkward to do a podcast in the middle of the combine. So we just decided to do it after. And with scheduling conflicts, we're here at 3 p.m. on a Thursday. So it's a 8-ish somewhere, right, Kenny?
Totally.
But yeah, man. So with that, the NFL Combine wrapped up this week. For those of you who don't know, pretty much the NFL Combine is both the spectacle and job interview for a lot of prospects. 300 prospects get invited to perform a series of individual drills, tests, 40-yard dashes, et cetera, et cetera.
Shuttles, bench press.
And yeah, man. So takeaways from the combine, Kenny.
Top prospect. Shit. Top prospects are honestly gonna make it a thing to just not go, or show up to get medicals and then leave. Like Caleb Williams wouldn't do medicals for all 32 teams, which is smart because there's no way the Chiefs are drafting me. The Chiefs don't need my medicals. Like only the teams who actually have a shot at drafting me really need to see my medicals. And you know I'm fast and athletic and I can throw, so you can just watch my tape at USC in Oklahoma. Marvin Harrison Jr., same thing. He didn't do any testing. Rome Odunze did. The Washington receiver, he ran a 4.45. Solidified his stock as a top 10 prospect. Like, people don't realize how great of a time that is for a guy who's like 6'2", 6'3", 215. Like, that's an excellent time, especially for the skill set that he has. Malik Neighbors didn't run either, but his teammate Brian Thomas Jr. did. 6'3", almost 6'4", running a 4.33 at like 220 pounds almost. That's crazy. And then Xavier Worthy, the Texas wide receiver, well, I want to say it's like 5'10", 180 or something like that, or 5'11". I forget how tall he is. He ran a 4.21. By the way, he's from Fresno. He's a California kid. So if anybody says, like, oh, he's Texas, nope. The fastest player in NFL history, or at least in Combine history, is a Cali boy. So when people say Cali kids aren't the fastest in the country, go back and look at our resume. Like, you put Reggie Adori and Xavier Worthy on a track team, it's over. But, yeah, so he's the fastest player in Combine history. Really helped his first-round grade. He already had a first-round grade coming in, and I don't think anybody saw him running a 4.21 to break John Ross's record. Oh, yeah, John Ross, who's from L.A. too, and went to Washington. So, yeah, John Ross, Reggie Bush, Adoree Jackson, and Xavier Worthy all on a 4x1 team. That would be insane.
Crazy. Yeah, I think to your point too, and I told you this last night, but it just seems like we've really kind of reached peak combine.
It's plateaued.
I feel like, as you mentioned, a lot of the top prospects are kind of just going there to meet with teams, do the interviews, play on the chalkboards. It's less about, going out there and competing and going through the whole spectacle. And I mean, I think in some ways it's good because, who was it that pulled their hammy on the 40?
It was a couple people, but the Amaris Mims, the Georgia tackle, there was a couple offensive linemen, and I think a linebacker.
But yeah, the point is, the last thing you want to do is get injured during this time.
Nate Wiggins. He
Yeah, it was Nate Wiggins. There you go.
It wasn't his groin, but he damn near almost tore like his quad or some shit. Like he pulled his quad or whatever. But he ran a 4.28.
But yeah, that's the last thing you want to do during this time, just because these players are really kind of trying to polish up their times ahead of their pro days, ahead of private team workouts. And the last thing you want to do is go into that draft day with an asterisk, saying you couldn't work out or whatever the case. So I mean, I get it from that point of view. I think for us growing up, we always really liked the combine because it just gave us access to a lot of these players. It's really kind of like, for a lot of people, it's an introduction to these players, showing kind of their backstory, showing what kind of talent they have. And, during the time and peak of cable and the birth of NFL Network, like, it really was just like a behind-the-scenes thing that we couldn't really get to. Because, I mean, at a point, there wasn't even fans in attendance. It was really just scouts. So, when NFL Network took us behind, it really felt like we were kind of there. And now it just feels like it's kind of something.
It's a business
decision.
Dated.
It just feels dated. We're all just kind of. I mean, you said it before, but it's really just some kind of like, it's kind of slavey. So
yeah, it's pretty much a slave plantation. When you got dudes in their boxers and their drawers and poking and prodding them.
And the NFL's cleaned up some of the questions, finally.
Nah, what they did to Caleb was some bullshit. And he's had to deal with that and like locally.
My whole thing with Caleb is
that was a bullshit question. Like,
my whole thing
that dude
Caleb,
was clearly fishing. That's why I don't ever want to go to the combine.
My whole thing with Caleb, and people have said that the combine questions are like on par with the Super Bowl. But like, my thing with Caleb is like, he didn't work out, he didn't throw, but like, I don't understand why you wouldn't throw. Like, I get it.
Joe Burrow didn't throw.
You don't have timing with the receivers, blah, blah, blah. But like, and I said the same thing about Burrow. Like, why not throw? Like, you're a quarterback. You go out there, you're going to throw at Exos. You're going to throw at wherever the hell you're working out anyways.
What if you tear pop your Achilles while you're throwing?
And further,
Penix threw and killed that shit.
He stayed after the combine and was working out in the field. So, like, I don't understand why he wasn't working out, because clearly it wasn't because he was afraid of injury.
Supporting his Trojan teammates, supporting his former Oklahoma teammates. Yeah, a lot of guys will stick around and hang out to support them. But like, agent-wise...
No, they said he was the last person to leave the field. He was working out after the field. He said goodbye to all the facility people, which... Another thing entirely.
That's franchise quarterback.
I don't like how this narrative has kind of shifted on Caleb, where it's like becoming cute and cloudy to kind of like
shit on him,
hate on him, say he's not going to make it. Like, you could say that about any prospect coming out in any draft.
Drake May's getting no heat.
In this draft and prior drafts, I'm pretty sure there were people out there who thought Joe Burrow might need some time. Who thought C.J. Stroud, was disengaged and football wasn't his biggest priority.
Oh, those testing?
Shit like that.
Yeah, agents were pretty much telling players not to take those dumbass aptitude tests. It's like the SAT. Like, it actually bears no bearing on your success in life. It's actually a very racist and culturally ignorant test. Because if you study for the SAT, you can do good on it. But most of the time, the SAT is some shit that you have no cultural connection to. You weren't taught it. Like, you could study for standardized testing. You know it's going to be on the standardized test. And if you ace or you don't. What's the other one? Not the pre-SAT, but there's another test we have to take in high school.
The SAT? ACT?
No. The Casey. The Casey. There we go. Which they don't even do anymore. The fucking California high school exit exam. Like, if you failed the Casey, you couldn't graduate. Like, so you take it once, you pass it, boom, okay. Now you just got to have a GPA and grades, and you're good. Like, I look at the combine as like the SAT. You don't really have to do that shit. Or the ACT. You don't have to do that.
Well, yeah, man.
Because they'll attach that score to your life forever. Like, you look at guys
you were the king of doing that.
The ACT? The SAT? I don't even take the SAT.
No, you're the king of marrying people to their combine results.
I mean, the tape shows me one thing, your athletic testing shows me another.
But yeah, man, just as far as The takeaway is, I feel like this combine was fast as shit. Like, there was 20 players that ran a sub 4.4, cornerbacks, receivers. I mean, there's even late round guys that are running 4.3s.
Yeah.
I liked what Quinyon Mitchell did, putting up that 4.33. I feel like
20 bench press reps. He killed it at the Senior Bowl.
I feel like there's really nothing that you could take away from him. Like the fact
Other than he went to Toledo, but he was an All-American.
The fact that he's going in the 20s in some mock drafts is crazy to me because
top 10 corner.
He's pretty much the top corner in this draft, and he performed at every stage of this process. So it's like, what more do you want him to do?
He looks like a better prospect than Sauce Gardner.
Outside of that, you mentioned some of the receivers.
The D-line.
Obviously, the Raiders, Chargers, Rams could always need receivers.
You always need a receiver in the NFL.
Yeah, pretty
You
much.
can always have better receivers. Like, that's why everybody's scared with, like, the Chiefs, because they're like, what if they just trade out of that first-round pick and just start gobbling up receivers in the second round? Like, somebody's going to fall out of the top 32, because the top 50 prospects are really good. Like, Braden Fisk has first-round pick tape and numbers, but he might fall to the second round.
And on that point, I feel like the defensive tackles ran really fast.
Insanely fast. 4.78 for Braden Fisk, who played some defensive end, but is
There's
clearly
a
a
cool
3 technique.
7 defensive tackles running a sub 5.40.
And if people don't realize how fast a 4.87 is, which is kind of crazy. It's like, if you run a 4.8, you're already faster than most human beings.
But that's what makes this draft intriguing, like you were talking about, Kenny. Because it's like
4.8 at 300 plus pounds is crazy.
Because it's like you might really be able to get someone with the first round upside in the third round.
Yeah. It just depends on your pick. Like, that's why I look at the Commanders, the Bears. The Bears could easily trade that 9th pick and clean up big. And my thing is, I'm not a fan of getting a first-round pick next year if all the best players that I want in this draft are here this year.
The safety class did really well. I feel like people have been talking about that being one of the strongest positions. And I feel like that was just kind of reiterated. 40-yard dash.
The linebacker class is kind of lacking in terms of star power, but there are some guys like the Texas A&M linebacker ran a 4.51, which is excellent. And then Peyton Willis ran a 4.44, North Carolina State. And he ran a 4.43. And he actually told me at the Senior Bowl, he said, if he runs anything slower than 4.45, he'll be disappointed. I know Cedric Gray, the North Carolina linebacker, said he was trying to go 4.5. He ran like a 4.64. But it's crazy to think like a 4.64 is an outstanding time for a running back.
Blake Washington had a 4.2 vert?
Yeah, 42-inch vert. He's like, what, 5'11", 5'10"? So, like, some of these cats are having...
even these verts are kind of crazy.
43-inch vert. Yeah, some of these cats are like 5'8" with 42-inch verticals. Some of these D tackles had great verticals, too. And, like, honestly, it gets slept on.
There's almost like 25 players over a 40-inch vert.
Bro, go look at the offensive lineman verticals. Like, Joe Alt, 6'8", running a 5 flat pretty much. Like, I don't think you understand for a left tackle to be running 5 seconds, a 5-second 40, 6'8", great movement skills. Like, 6'8" is a massive human being. And he's playing left tackle and has agility that is on par with edge rushers and corners. That's like probably a Madden glitch that they need to fix. Like, some of these left tackles should have like 90 agility or acceleration at least. Because, like, the footwork it takes to keep up with DNs that are running 4.4s. Like, there are DNs that are faster than some of these corners.
I mean, to your point, even some of these interior linemen jumping 37 inches.
Which is fucking sick.
310 pounds.
That's against physics.
That's wild.
That's against physics.
And it's not even, the top guys. It's the dude from South Dakota.
Christian Boyd? Or are you talking about offensive lineman?
Offensive lineman.
Oh, McMahon?
Yeah. He had a 36-inch vert.
Yeah, bro. Linemen are some of the best athletes on the planet as far as I'm concerned. Because
Grabble, he's a late round guy, tackle guard out of UCF.
I'm just saying you could run a 4.3 flat, but you can't hoop. But you can't be 6'5", 300, running a 4.8 40 and dunking on cats. You can't teach size. You can't teach speed. You can neutralize speed, but when somebody's just a big, fast human and they're strong, you just have to kind of deal with that.
All right, so final thoughts on the combine. Who's the guy that like really jumped out at you that you might have to go back and look at a little bit differently? Who's someone that you were expecting a lot of that kind of, needs to redeem themselves at their pro day? And maybe someone who just did exactly what they were supposed to do. So 3 guys.
I would say Byron Murphy did exactly what he was supposed to do. Texas D tackle, ran a 4.8 7. Like great size and strength, and he ran a great 40. Devondre Sweat, I'd say both Texas D tackles did exactly what they're supposed to do. And Devondre Sweat,
I said 3 players, bro. 3 players.
I was answering all your questions.
So what's a player that you need to take another look at because they did so well? And then what's a player that really needs to redeem themselves at their pro day?
I wouldn't say redeem, but I gotta see something from Jaden Daniels. Like I think Penix should have won the Heisman. I think Penix is a better quarterback than Jaden Daniels. The only thing Jaden has on him is athleticism. But like, I need to actually see you throw at your pro day and maybe even run, like, because he's too frail for you to be running. Some shit that Anthony Richardson would run. Like, I'm not running a draw with Jaden Daniels. He's frail as shit. Like, he would get crushed in the league. I'm not saying he can't put on an extra 20 pounds of muscle, but I want to see him throw to those receivers, those elite receivers he has, because Neighbors didn't even run. Like,
and who blew you away?
A couple people that I would say Isaac Guerrero, the Louisville running back. He had speed when I watched him play against USC, and he honestly was the only reason why they were in the game, because he had like 180 yards rushing. Yeah, I think he actually made it. He might have hit 200 yards rushing by himself on like 3 or 4 touchdowns, like 3 touchdowns. Like, he killed it. He kept him in the game, but like when he ran the 4.33, I was like, oh shit, he's fast. He just chooses to run through people's faces. Because there were times where like he was breaking off big runs against USC.
Yeah, and I saw him at the Shrine. He didn't play in the game, but the first 2 practices, he was really tearing up everyone.
And he went
shifty, explosive.
He went to Wisconsin.
Do a little bit of everything.
Yeah, like his agility. Like, I don't think he got credit for his agility.
Yeah, I honestly didn't think he would. Like, seeing him, he was a good athlete. I didn't think he was an elite athlete like this. So I definitely say he kind of blew me away too. I think one player who kind of people were kind of expecting a lot of, maybe fair or unfair, but didn't necessarily help his stock. I say Spencer Rattler. I feel like a lot of people were kind of looking at him to kind of move up in that second and third tier of quarterback, especially with some of the top guys not participating in everything. But I don't think he really did that.
Actually, you know what? I changed my answer. J.J. McCarthy.
And then
since you said Spencer Rattler, J.J.
bro,
McCarthy.
You said I asked for 3 guys.
I'm taking out Jalen Daniels.
You already gave me 6 guys, bro.
Nah, I gave you.
You're gonna say no. You literally gave me 6 guys. I
changed my mind.
Did good sports radio, set everything up, gave you the parameters, summed everything up again. Had the perfect lob, and you were like, "Yeah, I'm gonna pump fake 3 times
and still dunk it,
and then
hang on the rim and get a tech,
get my rebound, and then shoot a floater off my own rebound."
I put a Ricky Davis,
pretty much,
and then got a tech for it. But
yeah, man, and I think a guy who did exactly what he's supposed to, and I feel like maybe kind of just stayed the same was Michael Penix. And, as you talked about,
hating on his greatness,
throwing dimes everywhere. He addressed the injury things head on. He was himself.
He aced his physicals.
No red flags on the medicals. Like, I don't know what more you could expect from Penix.
But J.J. McCarthy had some of the worst throws. Missed wide open guys. He didn't run a 40, but he did. It's weird.
And then I also just kind of shout out a guy like you kind of been begging the table for, but I feel like Marshawn Lloyd had a really good combine.
4.46.
So, yeah, I'll shout him out as well.
They were saying him and Corum did the running back drill faster than him. I'm like, well, yeah, just because you do a drill better than somebody doesn't mean you do it better in the game. It's cats who practice great and are mid once they hit the field.
You can't do it like that.
Like, think about it. Tebow was probably throwing dimes in practice. But then what happened when he got in the game?
The best stripper ain't always the best prostitute. Not that I would know. Was that not a great metaphor, though?
I wasn't even going to go that hard, but you did it. You did it.
All right, man. So that's it for the NFL Combine.
I'm not testifying at the murder trial.
By the time you hear us next, the key of free agency will have already kind of been gone and past. The NFL's tempering period opens up on March 11th. So far, we've already seen some long-term deals go down. We've seen a lot of cap casualties. We've seen franchise tags happen as the deadline passed 2 days ago. So just real quick, 1,000-foot view headed into free agency. Kenny?
Safeties, running backs, and tight ends are just getting hoed out here.
For sure.
Like, they're positions that clearly don't matter anymore, which is crazy. They're like, if you're a DB and you can tackle, we can figure it out. We'll run some nickel coverage.
Well, the Bills and Seahawks both cut both of their safeties, and they're all highly decorated.
Carlos Hyde, Micah Hyde, and Jordan Poyer.
And they're all pretty versatile, so that's pretty much 4 safeties. Simmons got cut from the Browns.
Quandre Diggs.
After he just got there last year.
Wait, Simmons?
Yeah, didn't Justin Simmons get cut?
Justin Simmons plays for the Broncos.
Didn't he just get cut?
Yeah. But you said the Browns.
I thought he was with the Browns. I don't know why I thought he was with the Browns.
No,
I thought he left the Broncos last year.
Nah, he got drafted by the Broncos.
I know he got drafted by the Broncos. I thought he left. I didn't know he was still on the team.
I think they franchised him last year.
No, I don't think he was franchised. I think he signed a deal. He was franchised the year before.
Yeah. But yeah, they the Seahawks cut Quandre Diggs and Jamal Adams. Jamal Adams made $52 million in Seattle and didn't do anything. But I mean, when you look at it, he kind of got his money from the Jets. And then the Jets got draft picks that turned into Garrett Wilson. So, and the Seahawks got a 4th-round pick that turned into Kobe Bryant. So it kind of worked out for everybody.
As far as tags, Michael Pittman he was tagged by the Colts. Antoine Winfield Jr.
Josh Allen
tagged by the Buccaneers.
Josh Allen got tagged by the Jaguars.
Jalen Johnson was tagged by the Bears, but he just signed a long-term deal.
4 years, $76 million.
You mentioned Josh Allen. Justin Madubuike
got tagged by the
Ravens, $22 million.
Kyle Duggar got a transitional tag from the Patriots.
Thanks, Kenny. I was gonna get to that one last. It's a different thing.
Oh, I didn't know.
You want to explain what the tag is?
Nah, I'll let you explain.
No,
You're
no,
better at explaining it.
You don't trust your co-host. It's fine.
Nah, I didn't know
You're just throwing out random shit.
Bro, it's not even on the rundown.
It's fine.
So how was I supposed to know?
But yeah, Kyle Duggar. So basically, what that means is he can go and negotiate with other teams. He can accept a deal, and then the Patriots have, I think, 24 hours to match it. If they match it, then they sign him to that amount. If they don't, then they get draft picks from whatever team is taking him in. I think it's a 1st or 2nd round.
Tender.
Yep. Brian Burns, tagged by the Carolina Panthers, $24 million. L'Jarius Sneed, tagged by the Chiefs, Chiefs also parlayed that into great news by re-signing Chris Jones, 4-year deal.
That actually didn't.
Finally,
that actually didn't happen.
oh,
I told you I thought that was a fake Schefter account. You didn't see the W at the end of it?
No, I thought that was real. It was just from a fake account.
Nah, that shit was fake.
So you fell for it too.
I saw it at first.
You clown everyone for falling for it, but you fell for it too.
30 seconds later, I was like, "Oh, this is fake," because I clicked through it and I was like, "That's not the Schefter account."
And T. Higgins got the franchise tag, 21.
He was one of the first people to get franchise tagged.
All right, moving on. Franchise tag. That's that. So as far as free agents, there's a lot of big name guys hitting the market. We mentioned Chris Jones, Danielle Hunter from the Vikings, Kirk Cousins,
Leonard Williams, Grenard, Marquise Brown, Jonathan Grenard out of Houston, Xavier McKinney, the Giant safety,
Bryce Huff from the Jets,
which people are like
Christian Wilkins from the Dolphins,
yes indeed,
Robert Hunt from the Dolphins,
Michael Onwenu from the Patriots.
Xavier Howard was cut a few weeks ago.
A couple days ago, actually.
Officially, but it was announced a while ago. Who else?
Russell Wilson.
Oh yeah, he received his walking papers. I don't think we talked about that.
They put out a press release and everything.
But the biggest thing with that
I
is
hate that, man.
$85 million dead cap hit. So
Who really won?
pretty much.
I hope he played.
I was thinking about it.
Superheroes by
I was
Future when he
thinking
walked
about
out
it.
the building.
And I don't think Michael Penix falls past the Broncos in the second round.
Wow. So the Rams did a thing.
Like I don't think Penix falls past him. I think they'll take him. Just because it'll be cheaper than taking one in the first round. And he's really good.
Tell me how you feel about this, bro. The Rams re-signed offensive tackle Kevin Dotson to a 3-year, $48 million deal. $32 million guaranteed.
I mean, he had a great year. Don't get me wrong. He played guard and tackle. He solidified himself at guard. But that's a lot of money for.
He's considered an offensive tackle.
I think he played his best at guard, though.
But he signed the deal as a tackle.
So, yeah, I don't know, man.
$32 million guaranteed. The
That's
Jaguars.
That's going to set a high price tag on the rest of the free agency linemen, though.
Yeah. Crazy. The Giants, the Jaguars, they cut one of their D tackles. They cut Darius Williams, and they cut Rayshon Jenkins. Steelers cut Keanu Neal, failed the physical.
Chase Young's a free agent. Javon Kinlaw, Michael Dana from the Chiefs, DJ Reader from the Bengals, Josh Uche from the Patriots, Tyrone Smith from the Cowboys, Andres Pete from the Saints, Connor Williams from the Dolphins, Damian Lewis from the Seahawks, Lloyd Cushenberry from the Broncos. No longer
Lloyd Cushenberry. You gotta say it like majestically.
Ezra Cleveland.
He just signed.
The Jaguars. He did.
He signed. If you saw the rundown,
that makes sense considering the Jaguars gave up a pick for him.
And he was a good player,
White,
and the Raiders passed on
Murray,
him.
Patrick Queen, Levante Davis, Keem Davis Gaither. And we already talked about all the safeties, DBs. So, yeah, man, shit ton of free agents. Cap went up like $20 million. So that's helping out a lot of teams. And, yeah, that's about it. Shout out to Jason Kelsey. He officially retired. Eagle, Super Bowl champion, brother of Travis, converted running back, Cincinnati.
What did you just say?
He went to Cincinnati as a running back.
Jason Kelsey?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. I thought that was fake.
Was it?
I thought it was fake, but I know him and his brother play different positions. But I don't know about him coming on as a running back. But he is insanely athletic. And the Wisconsin center, Tanner Bortolini, broke his shuttle record at the combine for like the fastest shuttle for an offensive lineman ever. So,
All right. College football.
we're gonna overlook that number 6.
I don't have to talk about that here, but if you want, LeBron became the first player to get 40,000 points.
I thought Karl Malone has like 41.
Oh, LeBron is number one in all-time scoring.
I think they counted playoff points too. They're like Karl Malone has blah blah blah. And I'm like,
No,
that's not
LeBron
even
is the
a
number
fucking
one all-time
stat.
leading scorer. I don't know what
He did it on a layup.
I don't know what you're talking about, sir.
No, like somebody like brought oh Karl Malone has the most playoff. I'm like nobody gives a shit about Karl Malone. NCAA
That
lost.
really wasn't worth interrupting your college football report. I'm just saying.
I know. I only said that because
You're a
I'm
scumbag, I know. Go
I'm going
ahead.
to see you. I mean, allegedly, I'm going to see USC, Arizona State. Yeah, Arizona State. Rodney Jr. is supposed to be playing, but yeah. So the NCAA lost their NIL appeal. They lost it in 2 key states: Tennessee, for sure, and I forget the other state. But pretty much, NCAA can't do shit about NIL. They just got to grin and bear it, and you can't restrict people's ability to get NIL or the money. Like, and well, pretty much a death knell for the NCAA because it's just happening by more and more states. Once California rung the bell, it echoed throughout the rest of the country, and now people are losing lawsuits in key southern states. So, hey, NCAA is really only gonna exist in name, and they're just gonna either have to usher in and work with the NIL process, or try to help the Big Ten and the SEC grow in college football by trying to control the next TV deal, which is total bullshit. Like 2 conferences shouldn't be in charge of how much a TV deal is worth and how much they're gonna get out of the cut. Like nobody's signing on just to see the Big Ten and the SEC play football. I'm sorry, we're just not. People like the Mountain West. People like the Pac-12 before it dissolved. People like the ACC. Like people like these other conferences, and the big conferences really need to understand. Like nobody's gonna pay to see only your conference play. Like Texas made the move they made, but that's because Texas is so big and has so much money. You'll watch the Longhorn Network. You'll watch strictly Texas content, Texas football content. But you won't watch Texas play SEC teams all year and nothing else. No, you want to watch a bowl game because you don't have shit to do once December and November hits here either. But anyway, next one. UCLA officially hired Eric Bieniemy as their offensive coordinator and associate head coach. Great for him. Chip Kelly pretty much was happy at Ohio State. Feels like he just wanted to be a coach rather than have to deal with all the headaches of being a head coach, which is scary for everybody else because he's an outstanding offensive coordinator, offensive mind. That's how he became a head coach at Oregon. So, and Ohio State's going to be very interesting, especially with that defense. That defense is loaded. UMass is going to join the MAC for all sports in 2025, 2026. Delaware is also going to become a D1 team in 2025. So those 2 teams will not be in the NCAA most likely. Pac-12 commissioner wants to bring in Oregon State and Washington State, somehow keep them alive, figure out what are the next steps for the conference. It's going to be real interesting. These 2 schools got hoed, and they really didn't deserve that. They didn't deserve what's going on. I still say they should just merge with the Mountain West, and the Mountain West should just become a West Coast empire, and you figure out how to combine streaming deals and all this, and just an overhaul on Mountain West content, and then you can still bring in Pac-12 content, but you only show on the network Mountain West and Pac-12 schools playing each other. Like you show former Mountain West greats. Like there's a way you can get more of that content out there, especially with so many coaches with Mountain West roots getting head coaching jobs at other schools and beating other schools. So we'll see what happens with that whole situation. Also, Nick Saban said pretty much it was new. Like a factor in him retiring was how his players reacted after they lost to Michigan. Cats were throwing helmets and angry and mad. And he said, you got to be gracious when you win and when you lose. And we weren't really gracious in the loss. And guys were like, Dallas Turner was like, I'm out of here. That was my last game. So certain guys, just that whole concept and then NIL and everything, that played a factor in him retiring. He was like, he told the athletic director it was getting harder and harder year after year to do this, and it was going to become a year-to-year kind of basis situation, And he's what? Damn near 80. So there's that. Lastly,
76, same age as Pete Carroll.
Damn near almost 80. Coaching like 50 years out of his life. So, lastly, Johnny Manziel, who went on Club Shay Shay, talks about his admiration for Reggie Bush. One of the only real Heisman winners who was actually coming out and stopping.
Janu only signed for $10 million.
Yeah, 2 years. 2 years, $10 million. I don't think it's fully guaranteed. But yeah, Manziel pretty much said he's going to boycott the Heisman ceremony until Reggie Bush gets his Heisman back, because he's like, I did way worse shit than Reggie ever did, and I'm still invited to the Heisman ceremony. They didn't make me give my Heisman up, but they like tried to prosecute Reggie. They like demonized Reggie. Like Reggie and Denard Robinson would be the highest grossing NIL athletes of all time, and Cam. Those three dudes, more than Tebow, like they sold a whole video game off Denard Robinson's back. Like if you remember the last NCAA on PS2, Cam Newton was in that game. He was like an 88 overall. That Auburn team was ass. Pure ass. And look what they did. So yeah, Manziel pretty much boycotting the Heisman until Reggie gets it back. And then I think Reggie's also still working on that documentary, and he also has legal cases that he's won against the NCAA. Todd McNair too. So kind of sad how they tried to ruin Todd McNair's life. Pretty much ruined his life, his coaching career, and then tried to ruin Reggie. And Reggie didn't even do shit. Like his parents took a house and a car. Crazy. We don't talk about Matt Leinart and Dwayne Jarrett having an apartment, and Matt Leinert's dad was paying for it allegedly. And allegedly that's illegal, which again was stupid to begin with, because how the fuck is your parent paying for your apartment in college illegal as a D1 athlete? That's stupid. Like, you couldn't even give your nephew or your son a car in college. That's an NCAA violation. How the fuck you gonna police me giving some shit to my family member? USC didn't give Reggie a car or no shit like that. Hell, they couldn't even give him a ride across campus. Like, if you were connected to an agent. Like, it was so heinous. Like, USC got the closest thing to the SMU death penalty without actually being given the death penalty. Meanwhile, the Miami Hurricanes program is doling out all this fucking NIL money, and they still suck every year and still manage to lose when all they have to do is take a knee on third down. Just take game. Crazy work. Anyway, that's all for college football. Salute to Manziel, though, for, like, actually coming out and being vocal.
That shit he said about being on a diet of blow was crazy. How he lost 40 pounds in like 4 months. That's wow.
Off coke? I believe it. He had the good
He
coke.
talks like a cokehead too, respectfully.
A retired cokehead. He talks like a retired cokehead. They're actively doing coke. There's no way he'd be this. His memory will be shit.
All right, man. So touchdown or turnover. No running backs getting franchise tagged.
Honestly, it's a touchdown. Because since Saquon fucked it up by taking that deal when they were so close to having leverage, and then Austin Eckler had to take a bullshit deal. Had Saquon just held out, the Giants would have been in trouble. Because you paid Daniel Jones all that money and he shit the bed. And you're still on the hook for that. And there's rumors of the Giants wanting to get rid of Daniel Jones and they regret that decision. Well, had you actually paid Saquon what he was worth, the running back market would have been reset and you would have actually got a deal on Saquon the same way the Panthers got a deal when they paid Cam Newton that $100 million contract and then he went to one MVP and then he went to the Super Bowl the next year.
I'm going to say it's a touchdown too, because if you look at last season, was a really congested free agency market for running backs. And yet, Pollard, Josh Jacobs, Saquon all got the franchise tag. They all ended up taking similar deals that weren't necessarily the franchise tender.
And some of it was a variation of a tag.
And they all pretty much took a setback last year, with the exception of Pollard, but he really just got more playing time anyway, so it didn't matter. You had Cook and Zeke, who kind of slipped through the cracks, ended up wherever. Both kind of had down years in comparison to the rest of their career. And then you had Austin Eckler, who wanted a restructured deal, got it. And sure enough, he also had a down year. So, and we talked about at the top of this podcast, the talent that's at running back, even in the later rounds. So I think it makes sense to just kind of let these guys hit the free agency market and see what happens, see where everything plays out. The good thing for them is, like I said earlier, the cap went up. So in general, there should be more money to go around. Doesn't mean it's going to go to running backs. But at the very least, we're going to see kind of what the open market dictates for many of the running backs I just mentioned. So it'll be interesting. Hopefully it'll kind of reset for them. I doubt it, but at the very least, they're not being held back.
And I think, like, whoever... Now you can negotiate a deal where you can get the most guaranteed money over the next 3 years. Running backs shouldn't even be signing 5-year contracts anymore. Like,
all right.
Those days are over.
Texans signed Dalton Schultz to a 3-year, $36 million contract. Touchdown or turnover?
Touchdown. Keep those pieces around. I think Dalton Schultz really just needed somewhere where he was going to get the ball. Because Stanford produces really good tight ends. Like, kind of a poor man's Ertz.
I'm going to say it's a turnover. Only based off the value. Like, paying him $12 million a year when you could have got Janu or Ertz for $5 million.
Better than both of those guys.
I'm not saying he's not, but I'm just saying.
And younger.
You can find someone like that. And then this tight end class is deep in the draft. Noah Fant's a free agent.
Is this a deep tight end class?
Gerald Everett's a free agent.
Because Sanders
you could have got someone for a lot cheaper.
Jatavian Sanders feels like he's going.
I think the issue is the Texans have so much money, so they said we got to sign somebody. And like you said, Schultz developed instant chemistry with C.J. Stroud. He was a big part of their passing attack.
You're gonna have to pay Nico Collins.
So you're rewarding production, and that I can appreciate. I just think from a value perspective, there was still a lot on the open market that you could have tried to figure out.
I mean, the Vikings cut Alexander Madison after he signed a new deal too, and they cut him. So,
all right, the Jaguars signed guard Ezra Cleveland to a 3-year, $28.5 million deal with $14.5 million guaranteed. Touchdown or turnover?
Touchdown. I was high on Ezra Cleveland coming out of college at Boise State where he played tackle. Raiders stupidly passed on him. Now you need a guard. Interesting. And he could actually play tackle, but the Vikings quickly moved him to guard, and then he was really good. And then the line got bad, but then they somehow said, let's trade one of our better offensive linemen, who actually was playing really good with Christian Dorsal. And, yeah, the Jaguars desperately needed guard play. So, good for them.
Just want to say it's a touchdown, only even off of the fact that they just traded for him at the deadline. He only played half the season there, gave up a draft pick. Like, you kind of have to keep him.
Played well.
I think it's a good value. I mean, like a $5 million cap hit a year, potentially up to $7 or $8 million for him. So some good incentives there. Sounds like a good deal, and really just kind of sets the offensive line market,
guard market.
All right, Mike Evans, 2 years, $52 million, touchdown or turnover.
I'm gonna go turnover.
Ooh.
It's great that he got paid. It's great that he got his money. How do you not fully test free agency first? How do you not pull up on the Kansas City Chiefs like, what's up? How do you not pull up on the Baltimore Ravens like, what's up? How do you not pull up the Houston Texans like, what's up? I mean, the Green Bay Packers, like, contenders with quarterbacks, like, kind of shocked. Hell, even Chicago. Imagine Mike Evans and DJ Moore together. Like, that'd be crazy.
I'm going to say...
Man, he got his money, so good for him.
I'm going to say it's turnover much of the same reasons that you did. Again, I think it's good he's got paid. He's been paid, but everyone could be a little bit more paid. He's been one of the most consistent receivers of his generation. He's
Hall of Fame receiver.
Hall of Fame receiver. I think the issue is, like, you really want to stay your whole career in Tampa Bay? Like, it doesn't really seem like they know what they're doing. They're about to lose Devin White. They may or may not lose Baker. There's all kinds of teams interested in Baker all of a sudden. The running game was up and down the past couple of years. Their offensive line has been in transition. Like, I just don't really know what the Buccaneers are doing. They're lucky that they're in a division that's so all over the place they can still compete. But really, in any other division, you'd probably be looking at them as being at the top of the draft next year. And that's not to take anything away from what they did last year, because they did make the playoffs. It's more of just to say, like, how tiny the margin of error is for the league. And if you can get 6 games against easier opponents in the South, like, that always works in your favor. But, yeah, my point is, I don't know what the Buccaneers are doing. Whatever they told Mike Evans, like, he's clearly bought in. The $54 million doesn't hurt. But, I mean, $52 million doesn't hurt. But, yeah, I don't know. I think for me, if I was him, twilight of my career, probably the last time I get paid, I'm looking at another team that kind of has a blueprint to win.
A Super Bowl.
And a quarterback in place. All right, moving on. Take touchdown or turnover. I already kind of mentioned this one a little bit earlier, but the Dolphins signed Janu to a 1-year, $5 million deal. 2-year, $10 million deal. Touchdown or turnover?
Touchdown. They kind of need some consistency at tight end. And he actually is a great tight end when it comes to run after the catch. And I think going to a quarterback-friendly offense, one he didn't have in Atlanta, New England or Tennessee, like this is the offense where he can actually feast underneath. Because you got A Chain, you got Mostert, you got Waddle, and you got Tyreek Hill. Like
I think that could be one of the more underrated moves.
he's a good blocker. Like he'll block. Arthur Smith proved that.
All right. And last one, the Commanders signed Ertz to a 1-year deal.
They just needed a tight end who could somewhat stay healthy. I think he can stay healthy. You got to give him the ball. You really got to fix this offensive line. That's why if I'm the Commanders, like, if you're not willing to spend money, you better be looking at draft capital. You got to be looking to take 2 tackles. You got Sam Cosmi. That's honestly the only person on the offensive line I'm willing to even consider as far as my future plans. Sadiq Charles, the LSU guy, but it's like you're probably gonna you need to build out your whole team before you draft a Drake May or a Jaden Daniels, because they're not gonna elevate your bum ass team. Because if Sam Howell's getting sacked 80 times, the fuck you think's gonna happen to the guy who replaced him in North Carolina and Drake May?
All right, quick take or tangent. Saints signed Tyrone Mathieu, the Honey Badger, to a 2-year, $13 million deal. Take or tangent.
Beautiful. You got to keep that defense together in some part. You have to keep that back end together. You're already losing a lot, and not paying Trey Hendrickson is haunting you every day of your life.
Broncos cut All-Pro free safety Justin Simmons. Take your tangent. We talked a little bit about it, but anything else you want to say?
That's crazy work, and it's all Russell Wilson. It's all the ownership's fault for paying Russell Wilson that much money. But also, like, players should just accept getting released. Like he's on the hook for like $18.52 million against the cap. Bro, I'd rather them just let them cut you and take your money. But don't give back money. Don't ever give back money. 85 million, I'm not mad at Russ. I would really be playing superheroes as I left the fucking facility by Future. I'd lean into the troll. I'll be playing all types of Future songs just to let you know, hey, you may have cut me, but you're on the hook for $85 million, and don't think about drafting a quarterback because you owe me so much money, you practically don't even get the benefit of a
to your point, I think it just kind of sucks for the players already on the roster. Like,
because they're not committed to winning.
Patrick Surtain already said this one hurt. But it's like you said, they're not committed to winning. It's going to change their draft strategy.
I'll trade a first-round pick for Patrick Surtain Jr.
You spent all these resources, again, bringing in Sean Payton. He's supposed to steady the ship, be the long-term guy. Results were mixed last year. They started off slow, heated up, but now it's like it finally felt like at the end of the year they were taking steps forward, and now you just took 3 steps back, losing Simmons, benching Russ, etc. So I don't know.
Cutting Russ. Cushenberry's a free agent.
Yeah. So
remember when you traded Bradley Chubb?
Yep.
Do you even have any pass rushers left?
All right, this one just came down on the line, but Brandon Scherff is signing a restructured contract with Jacksonville to lower his cap number of $24 million. So take or tangent.
That's beautiful. You got Brandon Scherff on one side. But the fact that the Commanders let him walk for nothing is crazy. You got Brandon Scherff on one side. You got Ezra Cleveland on the other. You should probably draft a center because the one you got is and maybe take another tackle because old boy can't stay healthy out of Alabama. And the other tackle is So that's good for Trevor Lawrence. Get him the best offensive tackles you can. Figure out what you're going to do at receiver if you're going to bring back Calvin Ridley. Build around Trevor Lawrence and build up your defense. because Lord knows you need it. But above all that, pay Josh Allen. Get a long-term deal with Josh Allen.
All right, moving on. Fair or fade. First one. We've been meaning to talk about this one for a while, so glad we get to here. Cam Newton got into a fight at his own youth tournament. Fair or fade?
That shit's a fade. Like, I would have banned those coaches.
So apparently,
any kids who jumped in would be banned for life.
So apparently,
you don't do this at the Manning Academy.
Apparently, the people he got in a fight with were his former coaches, colleagues,
volunteers,
whatever you want to call them. But they worked with him on his team previously.
And apparently, they don't like.
I guess Cam Newton was talking shit the whole game, just saying stuff like "I'm your dad,"
"I own you,"
like "I own you." And things escalated. We all saw the viral videos, all different types of angles.
Man got jumped and was unfazed. That man was fighting off Von Miller and all kinds of D linemen with no right tackle, no right guard. Like, this man's used to having a shitty offensive line. So he's used to not having any real protection.
Cam took responsibility for it. So
he took too much responsibility for it.
I'll say it was fair. Because he took a lot of responsibility for it, just saying, he has to do better. He can't let things escalate like that. He's a role model, et cetera, et cetera. But I do want to say, and this has already been said, he's been on record saying this, but it's like the amount of players that have come out of his 7-on-7 teams, the fact that he hosts these tournaments, all the money he's put up for them.
Justin Fields, Josh Allen. Not Josh Allen.
Who's really doing that much for the kids as much as Cam Newton? One. And
they stay at his house.
He's still. We remember the video from a couple years ago when there was kids roasting him at the Cap. It's like
it's Trubisky.
He does all this work and he still can't get no love and respect.
Sean Watson, like some All-Pro DBs and receivers, like a lot of current NFL guys have actually come through his camp.
So when in a year or 3 years or 5 years, if he decides he doesn't want to do this anymore,
I don't want to hear shit because y'all ain't punching Eli Manning in his fucking face at the Manning Academy. Y'all not y'all get around white people and act like the most civilized motherfuckers ever. They that look like you and you want to fucking tear down everything they got. Bitch, they could have left you behind. They could have easily left you behind. I don't like that at all. Like, even Chris Long, so he's like all these, he's like, even the names for the teams, I don't like. It should be like, hey, you've done actually nothing in life yet, so shut the fuck up and run your route. How about this? Shut the fuck up and go run the route. Like, even early in the video, like, the coach was yelling at the kid because he put the strap. He said, you blew the fucking coverage. You weren't even the right coverage, dumbass. Don't be out here fucking celebrating like you did something. That's the problem. All these 7-on-7 kids think they're actually going to be somebody, and most of them aren't going to amount to shit. Because it's like, you can't hit when pads come on. You're going to end up on some fucking TikTok where it's a receiver catching a one-handed Hail Mary at the end of the game against 5 DBs, but all you motherfuckers were out here at these 7-on-7s thinking you were hot shit, but you just gave up a 70-yard Hail Mary, and it was 5 DBs and 1 receiver. And those videos exist. So, like, I miss the days where you got, like, people didn't respect you if you went to a passing league. I miss those days. Or you got a passing league? Oh, y'all whole team trash. We don't respect you. We respect your linemen, but, like, we don't. Even the coaches were like, y'all not going to stick around and watch and cheer on your teammates in the 7-on-7? No. I'm going to go home, motherfucker. Like, hey, can I go out there and run routes? No.
All right. This is another one we were meaning to talk about.
Yeah.
You should set this one up. The Tyreek Hill situation.
Oh, God. So it's an Instagram model, influencer. Pretty sure she got OnlyFans. I'm almost definitely sure she got OnlyFans for real. Dead ass. And speaking of ass, you can just go Google her. Sophie Hall. Now, she got a son who apparently like is offensive lineman, who's like 10 or some shit. But that's a big woman right there. Like that's a heavyweight. You can't just be no skinny dude and walk up on her. Like that's That's a fight for your life. And some of us who are heavyweights, we can handle that fight. But apparently Tyreek Hill couldn't because, like, they did a little drill in his house, allegedly, and she stonewalled his little ass. Just because he looked buff for his skill and he fast and he's strong. Well, that's why linemen, when we talk to you SEAL players and we call y'all little, you little. I don't care if you bench as much as me. You little as shit. You can't maintain that strength without losing your speed. And that's what I'm going to just get up in your shit and it's over. If I lose the weight, if me and you lose the weight, Pete, and the little guy tries to come at us, we're just going to be faster. It's a benefit for us. We can lose the weight and still have the power and the athleticism, and now we're quick enough to stay with you. Whereas, like, you can get stronger as a skilled player, but now you just bricked up for no reason. Apparently, she locked his shit up. She put that man in a car seat, allegedly. Not a real car seat, but I'm saying, like, she yoked his shit up, and he got mad and decided to go full-blown. Well, he has a history of beating women. That's just no secret. He got real physical, you know, unlike when he didn't get physical in that Titans loss on Monday Night Football when the Dolphins choked that game away. He got physical, ran her over, broke her leg in a couple different places. A really bad break, apparently, for her leg. And she like went on live and she was in a cast and crutches and everything. And yeah, all I'm saying is that's just a fade. Because when I see you do it, you don't do that to
grown. Isn't he going through a divorce too?
Yeah, allegedly. I'm like, you don't do that to grown men. We only hear about you beating up on women and your child, bro. Like, Tyreek Hill, we didn't forget the fucked up shit you did to your kid. That's why you almost didn't get drafted. Like, have you learned nothing? Like, yeah, you got Hall of Fame receiver stats, but you're looking like a Hall of Fame bitch.
Yeah, I agree with everything you pretty much said. It was pretty nasty work. I don't know. First off,
you can't handle a bigger.
I don't know why you're sliding in DMs to do football workouts. Like, that's weird, nasty work
with thick ass Amazon looking chicks who clearly are above your weight class. I saw this one chick on IG, like, she's like 237 pounds, but she's proportioned like perfectly. It's just sometimes God pours a little bit too much batter and that shit pops over like a muffin top. But it's like, no, she's actually not fat and unhealthy. It's like it's like when a baby's born like 16 pounds. It's like, what the fuck? And then they grow up and become an adult, and you're like, oh, you're still stacked. Like, you're still just a massively human being in a frame that is kind of ridiculous. That's kind of the era of, like, Instagram models we're in now. Some of these chicks, like, weigh more than some of these running backs. And it's not fat. Like, they're just stacked like that. And you ran across a chick who probably would have knocked your ass out had she actually gone full speed. Because the fact that she locked you up a couple times is hilarious. And he's not even, like, saying it's not that part's not true. I think my older sister is, like, 5'2", 5'3". When we were kids, she was playing tackle football with the boys in the street, running motherfuckers over. I mean, like, the female Darren Sproles out here bowling balling motherfuckers. Like when Darren Sproles, I think it was Darren Sproles, when he knocked out, no, it was Maurice Jones-Drew. When Maurice Jones-Drew knocked out Sean Merriman on a blitz pickup, you can go back and watch that video. My sister was running through dudes in like the 3rd and 4th grade, like running over 5th graders, playing tackle football with a broken middle finger, just giving it to people. Like, y'all gotta stop thinking like that these women out here aren't tough. Like, there's a couple baby D's out here. You will get your shit rocked playing games. Like,
all right. Andy Reid's son, Britt Reid, had his sentence commuted by Missouri governor, a.k.a. the remaining time on his 3-year sentence was turned to house arrest.
disgusting.
Fair fate.
It's a fade, and I think he should have to suffer the same fate as the girl who he maimed, the little black girl who still has developmental and mental issues from the fucking car crash that he caused because he was drunk as fuck. Like, he should never be allowed to drive a car again. Like, sometimes people who commit accidents like this should get the death penalty or a sentence equivalent to the pain and suffering that your victim's going. There's no rehabilitating what he did. Like, and the fact that he got a sentence commuted, it's only because he's a white boy. Straight up.
I think it's not even just that he's a white boy. It's a
he's Andy Reid's dad.
He's Andy Reid's son.
And Andy Reid's a great dude, but we don't fuck with your son. Like, that's just not, and I don't think Andy would even probably agree with that if you asked him deep down.
Well, that's what they said. The governor said nobody asked him to do it. Not the prisoner, not Andy Reid, not anyone else.
So he should have his law license revoked.
It just made sense to do based off of
Based off of what?
space. That's usually why those decisions are made.
But that's bullshit. Like,
It's cheaper. It's cheaper.
that's a crime against a child.
It's cheaper to.
I feel like
have
crimes
someone live at home than give them a cot and food, especially with how crowded our prisons are.
Oh, because his dad's rich and a Super Bowl winning Hall of Fame coach. He'll just be
Sure, that
chilling
didn't hurt.
He'll be chilling at the house, struggling real hard, collecting unemployment checks away from the government, away from the same. There's not enough prisons, but you keep building prisons and shutting down schools. Got it.
All
Cool.
right, Jake Paul and Mike Tyson are fighting at
Our
Jerry's
legal system is
place
trash.
on July 20th. Fair fade.
And it's gonna be on a Netflix documentary. It's some bullshit, bro. If he doesn't give Jake Paul CTE, if he doesn't hit this man and blood come flying out of his mouth, if he doesn't hit this man the way Marquez hit Pacquiao, and fucking Pacquiao's wife was screaming like he was dead for fucking 10 minutes at ringside in front of his mother. If you don't maim Jake Paul, Mike Tyson, you're a full-fledged pussy. Lost all respect for Mike Tyson. Muhammad Ali would fucking never conduct himself like this.
I mean, Tyson can't lose, right?
He
I mean,
can't
regardless
lose,
of
and
how old he is.
No, you got to beat this white
can't
boy's
lose,
ass.
right?
You got to beat this Disney star's ass. Because Jake Paul don't fight no fucking body. Yeah, he's a skilled boxer for a regular person, but he ain't fighting Le'Veon Bell. He's not fighting no real respectable boxer. I don't respect his whole fucking resume. I do respect his marketing, but again, that's because he's a white boy. He could probably rape somebody and then society would forgive him. Like, they
That's
forgave,
a lot, bro.
They
You
forgave
shouldn't say
Logan.
that.
Okay, Logan Paul, the suicide forest in Japan, the shit he did.
Totally different.
They forgave him
That's
for
totally
it.
different,
Yeah, but that's a grave disrespect to the dead, and like he went in the fucking suicide forest and was recording. Like, that's a big no. And what did WWE do? Give him a massive contract. He's a fucking darling now. Name a black person or a non-white person who could do what the Paul brothers did socially and have that lawsuit against them because apparently they scammed a bunch of people with the what was that lawsuit, Pete?
I don't know, man. I'm starving.
I don't know. I can't remember what that shit was, but like it was like some it was a crypto thing that him and his brother are caught up in. Like, that only works when you're a white dude in America. You can fraud, you can scheme, you can do all this foul shit, and people forgive you because you know how to market. But also, he's getting a lot of boxers paid. So, with the good, there's bad. With the bad, there's good. And Mike probably needed a payday with his bum ass. So, yeah. I'm just saying, if Mike Tyson doesn't win this, because apparently a couple of years ago he was walking around with a cane. I don't want to hear all that shit he was talking about Deontay Wilder. You're disgracing the sport of boxing by choosing to fight the other Paul, the younger Paul, Jake Paul. Now, if it's a huge payday and you're getting everybody else on the card paid, good for you. That's good business. I can salute good business. But he's going to consider himself a legitimate boxer if he knocks Mike Tyson the fuck out.
Yeah, I just don't know a metaverse where Mike Tyson can lose. So it's like, what's the point of fighting?
He took a dive. I mean, the same way he quit.
Like-
he quit
like
against
if-
Lennox Lewis, and he quit against fucking Evander Holyfield.
If he loses, he's old and washed. If he wins, it's like, you're a pro boxer. You're supposed to win. So it's like, why even take this fight other than a cash grab?
At least Mayweather knew it was a cash grab, and he knocked Logan Paul out on his fucking feet and held him up and said, "No, you're gonna make it the whole fight." He knocked him out. Like, if you see it, like Logan, go back and watch Logan Paul versus Floyd Mayweather. He lit Logan Paul's ass up, and that motherfucker was out on his feet for a second. And now, like, the whole, you got these influencers fighting each other in boxing, and the zone is like, we'll take it. Saudi's like, we'll take the money. There's just going to be more money in the spectator sports like that. But I'm glad that, like, boxers and UFC fighters are actually getting paid. And it's sad that, like, influencers are the ones getting these people paid and not these bum-ass fucking promoters who need to die and retire already. Because Bob Arum ruined boxing.
All right, Mike Thomas versus Jeff Duncan. Fair or fade?
Michael Thomas has been going in that dude's ass pause for a while now. They're pretty much saying, like, oh, the Saints are going to cut him. He said, how the Saints going to cut me and I signed a 1-year deal? This boy be writing stuff and it's just all, and none of the shit is right.
Bro, those pictures of him, that was kind of foul, bro.
Michael Thomas was going
They'd
in.
be like, yo, you read articles from this dude and it's just a little white reporter dude. Like, damn. That shit was kind of foul, bro. That's kind of fade, honestly.
I mean, yeah, but the dude who's the reporter ain't gonna fight him. That's why I don't like certain reporters. That's why I say most of the people in these press boxes can't fight. They just talk. They talk big shit on the internet. Am I right? But if you caught them by themselves, they're not doing shit. That's why I wish there was a journalism fight club, because there would be a couple people on my list that I'm taking out. Just
But
first
if
day.
I was Michael
first
Thomas,
day, I don't even want breaks. Just get him in the
I'm
ring.
already gonna have to sign a 1 or 2 year prove it deal. Like,
That's fine.
I don't
though.
really need to add anything to the mix by trying to prove I'm more paid than some broke ass journalists.
But sometimes you got to call these bums out, bro, because these dudes are gatekeepers for jobs they don't even deserve. It's somebody up and coming, and we're gonna take me and you out of it.
Yeah,
Who?
that's lame. That's a lazy argument.
It's not a lazy argument.
That is a lazy argument.
I mean, not really. I just think it's kind of bullshit to do that.
You don't even know what Jeff Duncan's resume is. So for you to say, "Oh, he's not worthy of his job," and there's some
I didn't
young
say
and
him,
up-and-comer to,
but I'm saying this
but
dude
that's what I'm saying.
has
It's
it
lazy.
out for him, though. This dude clearly has it out for Michael Thomas. They have a known history, and he has said a bunch of shit that is not true and was falsely reported and proven to be lies. And they're like, and Michael Thomas is like, y'all keep fucking listening to this guy? I would say the same thing. That's why Asia Wilson knows who voted her fourth in fucking MVP voting. You think we're ever going to find out who voted her fourth in MVP voting? I think we should, and we should publicly shun them. They should have their, like the same person who was asking Caleb Williams that dumbass question at the combine, are you running from competition? Bitch, he won a Heisman. What are you talking about? Like, some of these people are just in the profession, and they're not professional, and they're just in the way. And yeah, they should honestly get the Latrell Sprewell treatment. Fuck that. Just because we're in the same press box don't mean we're journalists. You're here for clout or some other reason. You're not here to actually do good work. And I don't respect you or the shit you do. That's just the truth of it. You've seen it. You saw it recently. I've seen it. Like, that kind of like behavior in journalism, like, we were fucking dog cussed to never do that. Like, you don't make the story about you. And when a person keeps making the story about them and they're wrong every time, yeah, you should lose credibility.
All right. Stephen A. Smith, Pat McAfee reportedly had a really heated argument. calling each other curse words, etc. Basically, the rumors were Pat was banned from First Take. They have both come out since, said they don't have problems with each other, saying Pat says he doesn't think he's banned from First Take. Smith said he's not banned from First Take. He helped us be and stay number one. So fair or fade, Smith and McAfee.
Man, this is some WWE shit. Stephen A. Smith trying to break the bank.
Bro, who made Stephen A. Smith the gatekeeper of First Take? That's what I want to know.
He did.
Apparently, he has a production company working on a documentary that ESPN is paying for on top of whatever the fuck they're paying him.
That's what happens when you're a company man. You're a company man, and you go all in.
He's not a company man, though.
He's a company man.
He's not a company man.
Bro.
He didn't even start his career there.
Bro. He to get back in ESPN. He's talked about it. When he was at Fox Sports, that shit was okay, but it wasn't anything special. He was a regular dude at Fox Sports. I know I called into his show one time to talk shit about Rick Neuheisel at UCLA. You can go find that recording, too. My mom still has it.
Nobody cares.
I know, but I'm saying he got back to ESPN, and remember he had his own show, AI. He tried to have it on Farrakhan, allegedly, or some shit like that. He tried to have it on somebody, and people weren't having that shit. Lost his show, started talking about how, like, oh, well, women initiate violence in certain situations, too. Fucking Michelle Beadle came out. Then he got suspended, and he just was a company man after that. He just didn't want to lose his spot at ESPN, and he's been carrying the show on his back. Yes, he has. You watch First Take. I don't watch First Take anymore, but you watch First Take because of Stephen A. Smith.
I haven't watched First Take since Cold Pizza. Put it
exactly. So that was fucking Woody Page, fucking Dana Jacobson, I forget his last name, but that was like a decade ago. What I'm saying is the ratings are the way they are because of him. And he's used his producer power.
I don't give a fuck.
He's used He's positioned himself to where ESPN needs him more than he needs ESPN.
Being a gatekeeper of First Take is like being a gatekeeper of some
he touching paper, you not
disgusting ass rundown dive bar. You're like,
I agree, but he's touching paper you and I are not.
Exactly. So
he's touching paper that no journalist is ever touching.
He needs to stop having so much damn attitude. Especially if all those other rumors about him and his colleagues are true. Like
that shit is cutthroat, bro.
Who cares?
When you're that high up making that much money, he never made that much money as a journalist or a beat reporter. You don't want to go back. You can't go back to that. He's trying to build an empire. And when you realize
empire off corniness.
Hey man.
All right, man, go ahead.
You're not wrong.
Get your fucking rant in. I'm tired, hungry. I'm losing steam.
For my birthday, I went and saw the movie American Fiction. I suggest y'all go see it. It's heavy. It's emotional. I almost walked out after like 20 minutes. Like some shit happened in the movie that legit, like I had a very like emotionally triggering moment, and I was like, I almost had a panic attack a little bit. I was like, I can't handle this. This is too close to home for me. I'm about to fucking walk out of here and leave. But I stuck through it, and I watched the rest of the movie. Some triggering shit, but it was some real truths to it, and like it just felt like a great movie. Shout out to the whole cast. An amazing litany of just outstanding black actors who all deserve their flowers. Jeffrey, I forget his last name, but he literally was at Trader Joe's a couple years ago, and people were making fun of him for working at Trader Joe's while still being an actor. Now he's like the fucking voice of the Watcher in Marvel's What If, and he's in a bunch of other movies. Tyler Perry helped him get back on his feet. Fantastic actor, and I'm happy, he was a star in this movie. So I would definitely say, yeah, make sure you go see American Fiction. Shout out to the homie Raul Martinez, him and his beautiful wife and his son. They had a going away party. I've known that dude a decade. He moved to Missouri. They got a house out there. They're starting the rest of their lives. It's beautiful. Another childhood friend of mine moved to Arizona. So it's always dope to kind of see people, friends From way back, somebody I played football with in high school. I've known that man since I was 15. Like, to see cats like grow up and have their own life and their own family, their own kids, and people move away, but you still, they're still in proximity in some aspects. So I'm happy for that. Happy for my friends. And yeah, I'm mostly just kind of in a phase because like my birthday passed and yeah, it's still Pisces season. Don't forget that. Shout out to my grandma, my aunt Marianne. Her birthday just passed on the 5th. My grandma's birthday is on the 20th. So yeah, it's like kind of just in a phase where I'm really assessing how I'm gonna attack the rest of the year. And sometimes you just need points in the year where you just like go back to home base, go back to the drawing board, and like get yourself emotionally and spiritually right for everything that you're gonna face this year. So that's kind of where I'm at. Where it's like in the past, I thought I had to just attack every single day 1,000 miles an hour with no real plan. Now I'm kind of like just enjoying the process and knowing when I got to protect my energy and when I got to lay low and get my mind back right for what I got to face. So, yeah, and I already talked about my diabetes being in remission. So, yeah, that's it for me.
Kenny, that's not a thing. Diabetes does not go into remission.
Well, my sugar level is like fucking pre-diabetic. Whatever, it's not remission, but you know what I meant. Like
That just means it's under control.
It's under control. Fine, whatever.
Don't spread fake news to the people.
I'm not spreading fake news.
All right, man. So
how
last week, I was able to get out of town for a little bit. Went to spring training. Got to see Ohtani bat 3 times. Up close and personal for about half the price of Dodger Stadium. It was a real nice weekend in Arizona. Sunny, but not hot. A little bit of breeze. Under 80. Wasn't too cold at night. So it was a really great time, great experience. Had a couple brews, had a couple of drinks. So yeah, man, it was a good weekend overall. Got to see my homie. Went to some of our usual spots. So it was overall a good weekend. Other than that, man, check out my newsletter, pstmedia.net. I'm on edition number 4, which for some reason I didn't send, even though I wrote it and posted it. It didn't actually physically send. Whatever. That's it for this week. Touchdowns and Tangents, TDs_tangents on Twitter and Instagram. Shout out to your favorite podcast app. Shout out to everyone who fucks with us. TouchdownsandTangents.com. You can find this podcast there. And yeah, we're out. Peace.
And Pete was right. Kevin Dotson is, they got him listed as a guard. Headlines were fixed. My bad. He's not a tackle. They
started him at tackle at the beginning of last year.
Yeah, they have him, but like they're considering him like officially as a guard now. After that new deal.
All right, man.
Salute. Pete was right. There you go.
Peace.